Imagine a world where every ocean creature you've ever seen has consumed plastic. Right now, that world exists. Recent studies show that microplastics have been found in the deepest ocean trenches, the highest mountain peaks, and even in human blood. Today, I want to discuss a silent environmental crisis that most of us don't even think about, which is microplastics in our oceans. Today, I will be covering three main points. First, I will explain what microplastics are and their sources. Second, I will discuss how microplastics harm marine life in our ocean ecosystems. And third, I will explore the solutions being developed to combat this growing problem. Let's start by first understanding what microplastics are and where they come from. Microplastics are particles smaller than 5 millimeters in diameter, and they come from both intentional and unintentional sources. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, microplastics originate from three primary sources: the breakdown of larger plastic waste, the microbeads found in personal care products, and microfibers released from synthetic textiles during washing. The Ellen MacArthur Foundation reports that over 8 million tons of plastic enter the ocean annually, much of which fragments into microplastics. When plastic bottles, bags, and other debris end up in the ocean, they don't disappear. They break down into smaller and smaller pieces over many years. Additionally, products like toothpaste and body scrubs intentionally contained microbeads until they were banned in many different countries. Every time we wash synthetic clothing like polyester or nylon, tiny fabrics are released into our water systems and they eventually reach the ocean. So now that we clearly understand what microplastics are and where they come from, let's examine the damage they're causing to our marine environments. Microplastics are causing widespread harm to marine organisms at all levels of the ocean food chain. A 2021 study published in the Science magazine found that fish living at every depth of the ocean, from surface water to the deep sea, contain microplastics throughout in digestive systems. Research from Scripps Institute of Oceanography demonstrates that when marine animals ingest microplastics, they experience reducing feeding, altered behavior, and decreased reproductive success. Small organisms like zooplankton and fish larvae mistake microplastics for food, which fills their stomachs without providing nutrition. This causes starvation and stunted growth. Larger animals that feed on smaller organisms then consume these microplastics secondhand, concentrating the plastic particles up in the food chain. The effects include physical damage to their organs, toxic chemical exposure from plastic, and reduced survival rates in population. The consequences for marine life are dire, but scientists and environmental organizations are developing solutions to address this crisis. Multiple solutions are being developed and implemented to reduce microplastic pollution at the source and to clean up existing contamination. According to the International Maritime Organization, many countries have banned microbeads in cosmetics, and regulations on microfiber releasing from textiles are becoming increasingly common in Europe and North America. The Ocean Cleanup Project and similar initiatives have developed innovative technologies to remove existing microplastics from the ocean. They use ocean currents and specifically design collecting systems. Prevention is the most effective solution, which is why many governments have implemented bans on microbeads, and they're pushing manufacturers to develop microfibers for filters for washing machines. These filters capture in plastic fibers before they enter wastewater systems. On the cleanup side, researchers are creating advanced filtration systems that can extract microplastics from the water column. Additionally, consumer choices matter. Selecting natural fibers, reducing plastic consumption, and properly disposing of waste all contribute to reducing microplastic pollution at the source. We've explored the problem and the solutions. Now let me bring this all together for you. Today I covered three main points. We learned what microplastics are and where they originate from. Broken down plastic waste, microbeads, and synthetic fibers. We examined how microplastics harm marine organisms by reducing feeding success and concentrating toxic chemicals throughout the food chain. And we explored the solutions being developed through product bans, microfiber filters, and ocean cleanup technologies. The microplastic crisis in our ocean demands our attention and action. Every piece of plastic we use today could become the microplastic in a fish's stomach tomorrow. The choices we make right now, from the products we purchase to the way we dispose of waste, will determine whether our oceans thrive or collapse under the weight of our consumption. The time to act is right now.